Okay, so once you've created your database, you're right to come into InDesign, go up to File, and go to New Document, and we'll create a new envelope document. So up here where it says Intent, say Print, number of pages, one's fine. Now the width, say 210 millimeters, height, say, no, sorry, DL envelope is 220 by 110. And you don't really have bleed on this document, but just as good practice, just always put your bleed settings in there. I've got 3, 3, 3, and 3, and I've got a 33mm slug there because we put a proofing sheet on our work. So say OK, and that'll generate your envelope document. We'll put it there so you can see it. So the first thing you need is your data merge panel. I have mine open already. Let's find where it is. I'll go up to Help, type in data merge. There it is, coming up already. If I hover down there, we see where it is. It's coming out of Windows, Utilities, and Data Merge. So Windows, Utilities, Data Merge. There we go. That's where you find your Data Merge panel. Then in the top right little corner there, you have a little menu. You drop down and you say Select Data Source. Quickly go and find mine. There it is. Say Open. And here we have in these fields it says title, first name, last name, address, address, address. Those are the pieces of text that are in the top row of every column of your spreadsheet. They come in. Now if you have to go back and make changes to your database, which is really normal, you have to go back and tweak things, you go back up to this menu and you say Update Data Source. So if you make any changes to that .csv file and you resave it, you have to click on that guy. If you have to remove the data source, that's how you do it there. And that's all for that for the moment. Now what you do is you put a text box down. Let's get rid of that one and do it for you. So use the T tool, press the letter T on the keyboard if you're into shortcuts, and put that there. Now what you do is once the cursor's in there, you click on these in the data merge panel. Title, first name, last name, and then you hit enter to the address line 1. I'm going to hit enter. Address line 2, enter. Address line 3, enter. Location. Now what you can do to check out your work is in the bottom left of the data merge panel you have a little preview button. When you switch the preview button on, it's actually merging with the database. And so that's good to check your work, check how the data merge is going to look. And there's these little arrows here on the right, and you can scroll through and see all the different pieces of data. This arrow here on the very far right takes you to the last row. So you go down and check your last result. And there you can check your number too. You've merged 827. If you had false rows of data with spaces and invisible characters, that would be a higher number and you'd know you had something wrong. You could go back and fix it. So that's a good check. Scroll to the end, check your full amount. So scroll back to the start and see what's happening and find out what problems we need to fix. So the first thing I can see here is that when I click on preview, there's no space in that first name. So let's try and put a space in there now while it's merged, and that does work. Uncheck preview and you can see I've switched on type show hidden characters. I've got that switched on so you can see the little characters between the words, and that's a space character, that tiny blue dot that's mid-height in the line. So I want to have a space in between the title and the first name as well. Click on preview and I can see that this person, Lila Alexander, doesn't have a title. So let's scroll forward and see till we find someone with a title, and we can see on that field that that person does have space in between all the names. Now another problem that's presenting itself here, which we have to fix, is there's a row of no information that's coming up as a blank line. So what you do there is switch preview off, go up to your little menu and go down to content placement options. Click that And down the bottom here on the left it says remove blank lines for empty fields. Check that on. We'll check that person's row of data again. And see there's Werner, and that row has disappeared now, so it's text flowing back up to the top. While I'm mentioning text flow, check that box and press Command B, and that brings up the text frame options. If you don't use those, I think you go to, if you don't use keyboard shortcuts, I think you can go to Object and Text Frame Options, and then Align Center. I think that's a good trick if you align it center if you're trying to fit your address into an envelope window or anything. I like to put it Align Center. There's one thing I want to mention that I haven't figured out, and if anyone knows how to do it, please let me know. I'll go back to the first set of values and I'll zoom in a bit. What you can see there is the hidden characters from the empty field. That was Lila's title. She doesn't have a title, so we've got some hidden characters there. If I go to preview mode by hitting W and clicking off there, you can see the alignment's not right. Now that might be okay for some jobs, but a high-end job you don't want stuff like that happening. I don't actually know how to fix it before the data merge. I figured out how to fix it after the data merge, and I'll show you in a minute, but if anyone knows how to do that, please let me know. Okay, so we're ready to do the data merge now, and I'll show you that in the next video in this series, a 3-part series.